Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am Solar Moonbird, and I'm so sorry for not uploading for a bit. I know it's been about a week or so. Uh, the reason I haven't been uploading is I was babysitting my cousins this the weekend before this one, and they were sick, and they caused me to get sick. So I decided not to record or upload a video while I was sick and everything. Um, but here's a video today. I'm so sorry it's been a week already since I've uploaded. I've been trying to get a schedule going. But we're back reading Kitsune, ANBU Naruto / Gaanaru. Uh, what was I just gonna say? Oh yeah, I've started learning calligraphy, and I'm pretty good at it too. Uh, but let's go ahead and get into Chapter 7 of Kitsune ANBU Naruto / Gaanaru. Just don't want to waste your time anymore, guys, because I wasted a lot. Here we go. I ran into him and gave him a huge hug. Itachi, I cried into his shoulder. He shushed me with a chuckle and wrapped his arms around me. The first time in years I was hugged, and the first time in years I felt loved. Itachi, Okay. Um, Here is a gay slur. I am so sorry. I do not like slurs. Um, but this is just a nightmare. I'll go ahead and tell you that now because it's sad. I don't like it. Um, but I have to read it. What is it, you little fag? He growled with poison dripping off every word. What? I stuttered and pulled away from him to look up at him. I almost screamed when I saw blood running down his face from his eyes. You're just a little faggot. Nobody would ever love you. The mocking continued to go on until I woke up with a scream. I clenched my chest and noticed that I must have put up my hinge while I was asleep. Are you alright? A voice asked. I snapped my head to the area where the voice came and found a figure sitting amongst the grass. Yeah, just a nightmare, I whispered while hugging my knees close to my chest. Well, would you like to help pick some herbs? That usually helps me, he said with a smile. I nodded and started helping him pick the correct herbs. Once we were finished, we said our goodbyes, but I said, Tell Zazaba good luck. He's gonna need it, and left him standing there speechless. I dragged myself to Tazana's house and plopped down on the couch. What are you doing, Naruto? Sakura asked with a sigh. Rethinking life, I grumbled into the couch. What? Sakura asked. Well, yelled. Zazaba, I grumbled again. Stop, Naruto, don't worry, he's dead. That hunter nin took him away. Sakura scolded. I groaned and gestured at Kakashi. Why don't you explain to them, Hatake? I told him lazily. He chuckled and put his hand onto his chest. Yes, Captain. And he continued to tell them that Zazaba was alive and that the hunter nin was a fake. What are we gonna do? Sakura whispered. Captain? Kakashi asked me. I grumbled something inaudible into the couch and just shrugged. I'll take care of him when I jump off that bridge, I told them. They all sweat dropped, and Kakashi was the only one who could say anything. Captain, I don't think that's how the saying goes. He trailed off. It is in my book, I muttered and took a much needed nap on the couch. What can I say? Insomnia is a bitch. I agree wholeheartedly with that. Time skip. I woke up from my nap with shouting and pots clanging around. I woke up groggy and squinted my eyes to look at what was happening. Tsunami was about to be kidnapped, with Inari crying at the two people. I yawned, and in the time it took for someone to blink, I knocked out the guards and tied them up to part of the broken house. How did you do that so fast? Inari asked. I shrugged. It's pretty slow for me. I just got up, though, I explained. He gaped at me and I chuckled softly. Well, where are the others? I asked. They went out to the bridge with my father, Tsunami explained. My eyes widened slightly and I cursed under my breath. Up I've got to go. Let me re-say that. I said that in way too cheery of a voice, even for me. Welp, I've got to go, I said urgently. There we go. I'm very dyslexic. It takes me a second to read words. Urgently. They nodded and I jumped out of their house into the bridge. When I got there, I saw Sakura shielding Tazuna and Kakashi fighting Zabuza, and Haku and Sasuke battling it out. I groaned loudly, and all heads turned to me. And this is why I have insomnia. You take one nap, one, and your squad has to fight people from the bingo book, I yelled. It's you, from the forest, Haku yelled. I was confused for a moment, then it took myself. Then it. Bleh, bleh. I don't know why I'm having such a tongue twister right now. Okay, let me find where I was. It's you, from the forest, Haku yelled. I was confused for a moment, then I looked down at myself and realized my hinge was still on. I made an O shape and I released the hinge. Gasps were heard around me, and I just sighed. I dropped down from part of the bridge I was on and looked at Kakashi. I trust you to take care of Zazuba. The runt over there needs some help. I pointed to Sasuke, who was laying down. Hatake nodded, and I walked over to Sasuke. I crouched down next to him and put his hand on his shoulder, and I felt my fingers become covered in thick, sticky liquid. Blood. Wow, you talk like you know everything, and yet here you are, bleeding out, I muttered, as I took the Sinbon needles out of him occasionally, deflecting them from Haku. After I made sure Sasuke was out of the way, I looked the real Haku right in the eyes. I prefer if you didn't hurt my comrades. I, I, I can't speak. I growled. He flinched, and I broke the piece of ice he was in and grabbed him. I grabbed him by the neck, hung him over the side of the bridge. If you weren't, evil, and not most likely straight, I'd most definitely hit this, I told him. He became hot, and so I threw him on the ground. I don't like to kill, and I'm not going to kill someone who doesn't deserve it. Sorry, I stopped for a second. My finger was hurting. Now I gotta find where I was again. Oh yeah, I muttered. He hesitantly nodded, and I looked over to Zazuba. He was surrounded by Kakashi's dogs, and when Kakashi was about to give the last blow, Haku moved in front of him. My eyes widened a bit, and I bit my lip. And looked away. Zazuba cut through Haku, and that was enough. I punched him square in the face. What the fuck was that? That was low even for you, I screamed at him from above him. Kakashi came up from behind me and wrapped his arms around me from hitting Zazuba anymore. You had somebody who loved you, and you didn't know how to appreciate that. Take it from me, asshole. Anyone who's ever loved me dies or leaves. Be fucking lucky that you had somebody, I screamed. Everybody looked at me in shock, and Zazuba looked like he was about to cry. Captain, calm down, Kakashi whispered to me. After half a second, I stopped thrashing and went limp. Kakashi hesitantly let me go, and I just stood there, hanging my head. I turned away from Zazuba and was about to pick Haku up when Fat Ass interrupted me. Ha! Did this stupid kid die already? Gato bantered. My head snapped to the sound and he just shivered. You're that bloody fox. How about you come join us, eh? We'd be unstoppable, he yelled. I growled and he shook in fear, stepping back. I threw a kunai behind me to distract the others and took all of Gato's team out. When they looked back, I was surrounded by bodies and blood. Sakura gasped and I just stared Gato down. I can give you anything you want, just spare me. Money? Fame? Women? He said desperately. I scoffed. I'm gay, I told him, and with one swift move, I took his head, sealed it in a scroll for the bounty later, and kicked his body off the bridge. I turned around to my squad and whispered, let's go home. And that is the end of that chapter. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so sorry there's so many different parts where I'm just like speaking so weird. I love how it's only 9:23 and I'm already yawning like crazy. Probably because I didn't go to sleep until 6 o'clock this morning, and then I had to get up at noon so that I could take care of my rabbits. It's not always fun being a rabbit owner. Uh, but I think the next chapter, I'm gonna just skim over it real fast. I think the next chapter he meets Gaara. Or did he meet Gaara before? I can't remember. Has he met Gaara before already? Oh, nope, he hasn't. He was, yeah, the next chapter is gonna be beautiful. Um, I'll, I'll probably record it and upload it right after this one because I feel super guilty for not uploading. Uh, Still haven't gotten the new phone and everything because I immediately spent all of my money on a calligraphy set from Amazon, and I'm so disappointed in myself for it, but I'm also so happy with myself for it. uh, but this is gonna be it for the video, guys. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Love you. Mwah, mwah.